So the potential start date will be June 1st, depending on a couple of factors. You know, if there's a tropical storm that day, we may delay it, you know, but yeah, that's our start date. It's June 1st.
Yeah. And why for anybody that doesn't know, obviously we know a little bit about you already at Ultrarunner Magazine, but for anybody that doesn't know, why the Appalachian Trail?
Oh, the Appalachian Trail. Yeah, I guess it goes back to it started at Marathon des Sables when I met a runner called Karel Sabbe,
right,
back in 2016, and then not long after I'd met him, he told me he was going to do the Pacific Crest Trail. And I looked on Strava and I saw this Strava post that he'd set a new fastest known time on the PCT. So I reached out to him and thanked him. And Karel got back to me and, you know, asked me if I was interested in coming to America to like help him like with a little bit of running with him, like as a kind of pacer mule on the Appalachian Trail, which he'd go for in 2018. So I said yes. And then with my experiences with Karel, running with him when he set the record, and then my own record attempt in like 2019 and then 21 last year, I just feel I've just got this. I now have a history with the Appalachian Trail. It's this pretty complex love affair. Should I switch? Yeah, should I switch to my my mobile data?
It's up to you. Your shout.
Okay, I've got 5G now. I'm on 5G, so that should be better.
Spot on. The 5G over in the UK, certainly on my phone, is absolutely pants. So hopefully it fares better over there, you know. But so you were saying about Karel then, just at the end. What did you mention about Karel?
Oh no, so Karel Sabbe invited me to help pace him for his world record attempt on the AT, or fastest known time. So in 2018, I went out, I paced, or actually I kind of muled for Karel. So I wasn't running ahead of him, I was running behind him, and I was carrying some of his snacks, water, and sometimes like the tracker or his mobile phone. So my experiences with Karel Sabbe just solidified that I one day would want to do something the same. And since then I've had 2 attempts, and the Appalachian Trail is everything you read about it is, and it is more as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, it's a bit more of a love affair for you now, because you've been on and off the trail for so long, haven't you, really?
Yeah.
So in terms of basically your main kind of experience, your previous experiences, it looks like we need some insect repellent over there.
I'm getting attacked by a little like fly thing.
you could be in Scotland right now. That'll be that's what they'd be doing if you're in Scotland right now, you know.
Oh, I've heard of those guys. Yeah, is it the midges or something?
The midges. Yeah. So in terms of what you're taking from previous experiences, well, particularly the most recent, because it was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah. Also, I just finished a 1-week training run on the Appalachian Trail. You know, we covered 362 miles from Monday to Saturday, which is an average of about 52 miles a day. So that was a real confidence booster, you know, to get out there and do a week at record pace. And then obviously, you know, in 2019, I have that failed. I like to kind of think of it more of, I don't know, just I'm persistent, you know, these failures. I think true failure is kind of not trying, you know, but you have to be prepared to break some eggs if you want to make a cake. And I guess that's what my first 2 attempts were in 2019 and last year, 2021. So I think this year, like when I went in 19, I thought I had all the answers, and I realized I didn't. And then in 2021, I thought I'd learned by my mistakes, and I didn't. So this year, my approach is, let's see what happens, and let's take it day by day, and let's let the journey unfold without any predictions or any kind of guessing of what's ahead. Let's just see what happens. happens, you know. As David Horton said to me, he said, "Can you do it? Yes, you can. Will you do it? We'll see." So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, we wish you absolutely all the best on it. So you started in June. What do you think in terms of the main kind of things? Because you know, it's a very kind of varied trail for all that I've read about the trail itself. What do you think are the main kind of things that you're going to be up against? You know, the sleep deprivation. Have you kind of got the strategy all kind of in place there? How are you going to tackle it?
Yeah, I think the biggest opponent is myself. You know, it's like, you know, whatever excuse is there, just by human nature, you'll seek it out and you'll use it as a full-on legitimate reason. So, you know, I need to be prepared to be tired and not use it as an excuse. I need to be prepared to be in pain. You know, I need to be prepared to go through all these. I need to have blind faith that the way I feel will pass, you know, even if it doesn't feel like it will. But in terms of detail of strategy and stuff, yeah, we'll start at, I'll wake at 3:30 a.m. in the morning, and we'll start by 4 a.m. and then, so when I was doing that training week, it was pretty cool. By like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, I'd covered either marathon or 30 miles, you know, distance. So that's a big thing. So the idea, hopefully, you know, finish sometime a little bit before sunset or at sunset, and those darkness hours that I'm running are in the morning instead of into the evening. And that's one strategy which Karel used, which I'm quite happy to follow in his footsteps. So instead of, you know, you got your dark hours of running and then you've got sunrise to look forward to, so that's a great strategy, instead of running into the night like Scott Jurek did and then just, you know, nothing else comes after that. Yeah, like having a great crew as well. You know, the vehicle behind me, the Toyota Tacoma, we're going to use a tent box, which will sit up on top of it. I haven't got that yet. And the Iceman is going to drive this. Iceman is a through hiker or a section hiker. He's completed the full Appalachian Trail. Gun Section is going to be out there, who's my mum. You know, that's her trail name. She's been out to America 3 times now. She's been part of 2 attempts, and she also crewed me on the Southwest Coast Path solo by herself. So we've got one fastest known time there. I mean, there's so many things that come into it. I could just babble on for ages, you know, getting the right nutrition in. And that can just be pizza, you know, Snickers bars, just calories, you know, drinking, staying hydrated. I mean, I totally don't have any of the answers, you know, and I'm going to see just what unfolds, you know, and just, I think, but my biggest hurdle will be myself, you know.
Yeah.
Can I stay with it? Can I stay motivated? You know, do I have what it takes? You know, I mean, it takes something special. Do I have that? Let's see.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that you're already kind of really answering the question, because you keep on returning to it. So, you know, when it's in your head and you know, it's there, you know, you don't shake it off until you've you know, tick that box, you know, and giving it your absolute best. And I think because you know, it's got to have your best. That's why you keep on going back to it, you know. So yeah, I think everybody will completely agree with you. You know, that you'll get the Appalachian will get the best from you, you know, on the day. In terms of, you mentioned that you know, at times in previous FKTs on the route, you were there supporting. Will you have any like support runners, any mules, as you put it?
I think not really.
Right.
I think a few people may turn up here and there. Actually, there's a cool guy called Daniel Cates. He's going to come out from the start to the Smokies. So there's an area where we need someone to hike in, set camp up, because I'll be meeting my crew at road crossings. And Daniel, on the 4th day, if we're ahead of Karel, actually, I want to try, and the plan is to get a small amount of distance on Karel each day, and that will build up as time goes by, you know, all being well. And so on day 4, it has me finishing right in the Smokies where there's no road crossings, because the Smokies is like a 70 something mile section with only one road in the middle. And so I've got two 33-mile unsupported sections. So on day 4, I'll finish into that second 33-mile stretch. So yeah, Daniel will come out, set up camp, hopefully at a shelter. And when I get there, instead of me trying to sort things out, hopefully I'll have a meal, breakfast for the next day, all my snacks, my sleeping stuff set up, and I can eat and sleep, wake up, eat and leave. So yeah, Daniel will be key in the Smoky Mountains. And then no, there's no other plans for anyone else to come out. There's people who have said, they'll be happy to show up on trail, but so far no plans to have a whole bunch of people come out like Karel did.
Yeah. More minimalistic in a way. That's that basically means that you've got yourself to rely on in a way, so it's good in a way, isn't it? Reducing the onus on reliability on anybody else. The tracking, have you got any tracking that anybody can follow? Will you have tracking nearer to the time?
No, I'll have live tracking. It's already set up. The page is set up. Anyone who wants to go and check it out, go to my webpage, KristianUltra.com, spelled with a K, so KRISTIAN.com. And as soon as you hit the page, I've set it up so, it says live tracking, click here, and then people can follow me. And on that live tracking page, I've been using the same company for the past 4 years now. They did my 2 failed attempts and the Southwest Coast Path. And they also did Karel's as well, which is cool. It's actually, Karel's a dentist and it's one of his patients. Actually, the guy, Tim, just went to Barkley Marathons with Karel. Right. So I phoned him up when he was doing my tracking page and he was like, oh, I'm in Tennessee. I'm just at a little race. I can't say what it is. And I knew what it was. But so people on that page will be Karel Sabbe. I think I'm going to have the top 5 people on there. So Karel Sabbe, Joe McConaughey, Carl Meltzer, also known as a Speed Goat, Scott Jurek, and then Jen Farr Davis. And I may have Andrew Thompson on there as well. So obviously Jen Farr Davis and Speed Goat went south. So you'll see some icons down south and up north. And as we set off, they'll all be moving. And, if all goes well and all goes to plan, I'll be a little bit ahead of Karel, each day gradually a little bit more. Yeah, there's live tracking. It should be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it really kind of brings it to life, doesn't it? It's certainly something which everybody, can follow and see exactly where you're at, and if they wanted to kind of meet you on the route, it's nice. Any sponsors that you have on board there that you'd like to mention or anything like that?
Yeah, so back in the day, I remember writing a letter to Innovate, or in an email, and it was cool. I got a response, and those guys helped me out. I was really grateful to those guys, and they supplied trainers, and in the end, I felt pretty sweet. Actually finally getting a record using their stuff, which was the Southwest Coast Path. But Carl Meltzer, we've been going back and forth quite a long time, a couple of years now on email. And he's like one of these people who you consider a friend that you haven't met yet, Yeah. And he said, you should try the Speed Goats, because that trail is made for the Appalachian Trail. And I always remember Innovate being quite low on cushioning, and that always worried me and concerned me. So anyway, I tried a pair of Speed Goats. I think I put about 1,000 miles in them, and they still had more cushioning than Innovates. And that's what I wanted. I wanted a shoe which was designed for American trails. So then I reached out to a contact at Hoka and told them what I was going to do and what I wanted to do. And Karel Sabbe used Hoka's heading north. He's got the northbound record. Speedgoat Carl Meltzer holds the southbound record. He used Hoka's. So then, they said they'd supply, trainers and clothes and that for the attempt. So I'm going to use Hoka's for my shoes. And then Lecky have been pretty awesome, supplying me poles with the Shark trigger grip for a couple of years now. And when you're out on the Appalachian Trail, when you are running or jogging, I like to say, you're not jogging too fast. It's kind of, you're measuring your speed in miles per hour, you know. And so when you're going uphill, it really helps when you've got your poles to hike with. So I've got Lecky poles, Garmin, you know, got the latest Garmin Fenix 7X Solar. Garmin have kindly supplied me that, so that's awesome. Who else? Like Exoskin are pretty good. They're like, I don't know if you've heard of Exoskin. When it's raining, I've got these like tight little shorts, no chaffing, no sore spots, and that's good. And then like darn tough socks with Exoskin socks. I kind of like both those brands. I mean, there's quite a few of them. It's all kind of product support. There's no cash It's kind of a self-supported attempt financially, but yeah, that's all kind of product support. So shout out to all those guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, all the best, you know, all the best kind of stuff you need out there.
In terms of the time to beat, what is the time to beat on the Appalachian?
41 days, 7 hours and 39 minutes. And, so that's an average of 53.1 miles a day.
Absolutely. And the elevation on the route?
12,000 feet a day, up and down.
It's come in under a certain kind of window.
I mean, I'll take the most humble approach I can. I would be so proud of myself, my crew, just luck, the universe. If I could just beat Karel, in fact, I don't even want to say that word. It's kind of a negative and destructive word. I'd like to set a new record, and whatever that is, that I'd be quite happy with that. In the past couple of years, I've been using the word break and stuff like that. And I was thinking the other day when I was out on a trail run, I'm not going to break anything. You know, Karel's record is there forever, eternity. Yeah. So I want to set a new record. And if it's by like 5 minutes or 5 hours, I'd be completely satisfied either way.